How's the day in the life of the boss?
Oh, yeah, good. Just got home pretty much.
Where's the beer? You got a beer?
And then there's a whiskey in the waiting as well.
Yes. Love it. I fucking wish I had a beer here. Can't have beer on this premises, though, unfortunately. I'm going home to a beer after this, though.
Oh, good stuff.
Cool, man. And how's the week been?
Good. Real busy.
Yeah, so you sold out on all your products? Everything.
Yeah,
Sold out on everything.
Yeah.
Unreal, man. Unreal. Okay, so from last week, what did you take away from it, first of all?
That I need to get that little, I always forget the name of it.
Pixel.
The little pin thing. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
In the Facebook page.
Little pin thing. Yeah.
That's just how I imagine it, like a little pin. And then it's just strings going from that pin
Yeah.
to everything else. And then need to suss a few videos that I've got already, so I'm not trying to create more work for myself by creating more content. To start sharing those, do paid advertising for that.
Yep.
So I've got that 5 that you're talking about where I go different demographics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And need to get that website sussed.
Yep. Cool. And yeah, the biggest, I would say out of all that, make a priority list. I would say the website's important because you can't really have a Facebook pixel without some sort of system that you can go to, like ClickFunnels, website, whatever. But then it's more importantly understanding how we can deal with being sold out, because the last thing we really want to do is be sold out, right? Like, it's a very good thing to do, but it's like you could have made way more money if there was more product, right? So the biggest thing that I was talking about was that if we can gather that information and we create hype, let's say 2 or 3 weeks before that, or a week, 2 weeks before that, then I guarantee you double what you did. Because what you would do is you would ask them to put their name, like let's say you put a list of products down and you said, okay, I want you to go out and put everything else you want on. So for instance, I remember that, like imagine even if they bought it before you made it. I don't know if you've already done that previously before, but we can do it like in a scaling system where we can generate more income at the top end or the pre-end before we actually launch, like a Kickstarter or like a pre-order, right? But I know you've done pre-orders in the past, but specifically we want to kind of double what they're already buying. So I want people to buy products, like they're going to enjoy the product anyway. That's regardless. This is what I mean. You have an amazing fucking product, but we want to create attention. We want to create desire. Normally, no one has that 3 already. Like no one has the product. The product is the last thing people have. We want to create attention. We want to create massive desire. I mean, my goal for you is for fucking people lining up outside your door before you're even open.
Yeah. That's ideally what
I want you to. My goal for you is to turn you into the bakery of Loaded. You know what Loaded is? Loaded, yeah. So you know how every time they release Yeezys, every time they release Jordans, every time they release everything, everyone's outside. There's a line, right? That's my goal for you by the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Then you get someone out there on a coffee machine or some shit feeding up, bro. That'll close down fucking Cavity. Bro, that is like the goal, and it is completely possible. We just have to do it in a way that you are going to have to. You're going to feel very overwhelmed because that's a hype. That's a lot of hype to do, but it's not a lot of money because you've already got the hype. You just need the attention. You need the desire. Yeah, the desire is people messaging you saying, when are these products getting back into restock? But it's also like, how much more do you think you could have done if you knew preemptively how many people were actually keen?
I reckon probably an extra $500 worth of bread. Yeah. So, that's 100 loaves.
Yeah. And could you do that comfortably, or is that too much stress?
Yeah. Oh, it'd be a lot of stress, but.
So why at the moment? Why do you think that didn't happen?
To be honest, I was just like, fuck it, no one's ordered shit. If we sell out, it'll teach them a lesson.
So you didn't have an ordering system in place, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We was just to go on the old school method of when people come in, you go, make sure you order for next week.
Yeah.
It should be right. No, it won't.
So effectively, what we want to do is we want to launch. How many launches do you think you could do in a year?
Of new product?
Like you just did now.
I could do one a month pretty easy.
Yeah.
Because that's
So
what I was thinking about doing, is having limited range products
yeah.
from now on.
Yeah, for sure. And the way we do it, right, is we turn it into that loaded format, right? The thing is, this is what I mean. I study every fucking thing that's on my feed. The way we do it is that, you know, I've got 3 pair of Yeezys from those guys, mainly because the hype's so good. I'm like, I need to opt into this shit. I didn't even want the ones that I won are the yellow. When the fuck am I going to wear yellow shoes? Like, I don't know when I'm going to use them, but I won them. I'm like, sick. I really don't want to spend this money, but I got a text from them saying you won. So, like, and there was it wasn't like I won the shoes. I won the right to buy them. There's no discount. There was no nothing. I just won the right to buy them. So what I learned from that 3 times that I've done it is that you can create a marketing strategy outside of that they build up hype for about, they don't have to do it very often, but realistically you'll do 3 weeks. First week is priming them. Second week is reminding them. Third week is selling them. So that by the time you actually launch the product, you'll realistically have sold what you would have done in the previous past. So whatever you just did now would be effectively the pre-order. So you would have that done. You'd already have done that as close as you possibly could to do that because of the actual quantity. But then that actually allows you to say, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring someone else on for that period of time.
Yeah.
And then they can just go back. They can go away for the smallest. So every 3 weeks, you're building for that 4th week. And then that 4th week, you're effectively having it off. We have to figure out the logistics of how you operate and what actually is food relatable and all that kind of shit. Because sometimes my ideas go more digital rather than there. But the way you do that, and the reason that sounds like you're looking at me like, fuck, that sounds like a lot of work. It's not, because all your marketing is done digitally.
Yeah.
And all your marketing is just emails, because your generation, or your demographic, sorry, not your generation, your demographic that is in your store are the ones that will get emails. My mum checks her emails like 50 times a day.
Yeah.
So what we do is we just create the hype through email. We create the hype through Facebook. We create the hype through maybe even a exclusive, you could even have a bakery VIP group, right? Like create all your customers into a VIP group, because then you're just selling to people that already want you. There's no bakeries that are doing that kind of shit. There's no imagine if you made it, you can literally make, this is what my goal is also, is make a walking ambassador that people were just like shutting down other stores because they're shit, right? Because they just won't go there because it's you. I won't go anywhere else but New World. I just have this thing, right? I won't get any other trucks but Toyota. I won't buy anything else that is Apple. I don't care if I have to save a little bit longer to go there. I don't have to care if I have to spend $1 or $2 more. It's the brand and it's the connection I have with that. And people may think I'm weird. People may think I'm just overhyped and whatever, you know. But it's just what I do. I never get let down. I've never once got let down from an Apple product. I've never once got let down by a truck. I've never once got let down by something from New World.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Pack and Save, I get let down. Every time I go to Countdown, I get let down. Every time I go to Woolworths, I get let down. It just speaks to the nature. So my goal is that's pretty much already happening from you, but I want to expand it. I want to accelerate it. And this isn't like, the biggest thing that we realize is this isn't going to fast track anything. We're not going to miss it or cut any corners and all this to happen. But the difference between the real people that founded McDonald's versus the person that actually founded McDonald's was the decision making and expanding when they would never think they were ready to do it. So the biggest thing I want you to have a think about over the Christmas period, and when you have some days off, hopefully, or whatever, when you have some time, is that you are never going to be ready to go forward. My job is to make you go forward, right? And at the end of the day, you can say no, put your foot down and put the feet in the sand and say no. But this is the difference, is because I'm going to make you do the shit that you would have done 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But I'm the yes man. I'm like, if you told me you're going to do it, you got 7 days to do it, right? Like I'm like, you got to go do the shit we told you to do last week, because that shit should have been done. Otherwise, what's the solution? Where can we fix it, and where can we put some structures in place so it does happen? Because if it's not getting done, there's a reason why it's not getting done. And slowly but surely, you're going to start believing in the method and the predicted what we want to do. But you're still going to be shit scared. I'm shit scared every week that I do things. I've done all this work for my consulting business that starts in January, and I'm like, imagine if it flops. But it won't. But there's always that thought.
You're pretty safe.
And everyone has that thought, because when you start your first business, when you get your first home, when you get your first dog, you're like, fuck, you're precious about it. But by the time you're 4th or 5th one, you're like, I've done this before, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone that has, like kids, right? Same thing. It's the same reason. It's like as soon as you start doing it more often, you actually become more relatable to it. So the biggest goal for us in the background is really building that funnel to hype them up every 3 weeks. So every time you come up with a new project, it's that 3-week mentality. We build the hype, we make them commit, then we deliver. And the way we do that is by filtering everyone that comes into the store and make sure that their VIP experience is the best possible. We need them an email, we need them on Facebook, we need them in an area where we can talk to them all the time, and we need a process that we can say, okay, well, this is the new product, everyone sign up for it. Right?
Yeah.
Like you really look at the methodology of, like, let's say Yeezys, for instance. You know, if it wasn't Kanye West, they would have spent millions to get the authority they've got. Right? Or look at the biggest brands and look at the reasons why you buy things around, right? Specifically, maybe the machines and maybe if you've ever bought a limited edition thing, they're not a limited edition. They've just put limited edition on it because it's like, it's only, you know, every time bloody Cadbury's release a chocolate that's like only one run, everyone goes mad, like caramel or whatever.
Yeah, and now it's back in the shelves.
So effectively what we do is we just make that specifically what we do. But like a lot of clothes brands now, if you've realized, if you've seen it, is that they will only do runs of one. They'll only do one round of the run because they don't need to sell it. They don't need to be stocked.
Yeah.
And it's really about, okay, well, you know, how do we make sure that your products are stocked but not really stocked, right? No point in having product on the shelf if we can sell it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so if we can sell it in big bulks, if that makes sense. So for instance, if one person's going to buy one donut, why would they not buy 10 or, you know, at a time, so that you're making high transactions every week rather than every week, a month, right? So
yeah, well, that's what I've noticed with Christmas. Everyone's buying the tarts and stuff. So it's putting our average spend from like $5 up to $15.
Yeah. So my goal, like, we're going to have to sit down, and maybe that's when I come up and see, is that like what your average spend is between the periods of that isn't a holiday or isn't a week, like a labor weekend or whatever. Yeah. Because my goal and your success rate is going to be dictated on your average spend. That's how we track success. It's like if they come to your store, which effectively is a website or a landing page, which is your storefront, how do we take them from spending $2 to $10?
Yeah.
Everyone, and this is the difference, and this is the mindset I want you to get into. Everyone wants to give you as much money as possible. You just don't ask enough for it.
Yeah.
Makes sense? So like they're going to go in there. Like when I went into your store, I was like, fuck it, I'll spend, like I probably would have spent if I had actually had my wallet on me. I think I only had my cash or something. But so, okay, how do I take someone, like my mum's a perfect example. She'll go into the store and she'll be like, I'll get that muffin. And then she's like, oh, I'll get that for my dad, or I'll get that for James, right? And then she'll be like, oh, I'll get that for on the ride home. So she went from actually only wanting one thing to buying 4.
Yeah.
So it's really, really understanding is, okay, how do we market that, and how do we give them the products that we want? And it's also like, okay, well, are we set up in the store? And this is where I can come in and have a look at it. Is like, we need all those little transactions, plenty of little transaction things at the start, because it's only small things. It's like an upsell, downsell. So if they're buying a normal product, what would be an amazing upsell? Okay, so that's your brainstorming. Then what if they said no to that in their head? What's a good downsell? So it's like adding little things on there, like can we add little transactions or little things that are not going to cost us a lot, but them a lot, and vice versa. But small steps first. But then that's my thinking anyway. That's when I said I had a few ideas about when you said you sold out. I was like, perfect, this is perfect. It's about creating a waiting list, but not creating more work for you. It's about understanding how automated the system can be, so that all they're doing is like, I think it's really revolutionary if we can put something in front of them. So every time they sign up, they're signing up to an email.
Yeah.
And it's about not being salesy, because that's not going to change the mantra of your store. It's about, even asking for their email and cell phone number, right? Because an email is great, but a text is even better. And then you get a free app that you can go through and put all their text through and blast them saying Ben's Buns is about to release limited edition donuts. People are like, yeah, I'll reply to that. Right? Because there's only a certain amount of time that I check my emails. I mean, Messenger in itself, like Messenger bots, they've got an 80% open rate. An email has a 2% open rate.
Yeah.
It's understanding, okay, well, we market to the masses in wherever, like our local industry, but it's also saying, okay, well, what can we do on Messenger and Facebook that we haven't explored before as well? But that's cool. All right, what else? What else did you want to learn from today?
Literally just everything and anything. I didn't have
So we
come
talked
into
about
it.
we talked about the Facebook pixel and audiences last week, and then we had the shoppers and everything like that, right? We talked about over the ads and everything. So
Yeah.
primarily, it's really talking about how do we funnel them. The biggest three things I want you to remember every time we talk about marketing is our goal is to have a really good product, a really good offer. Then we need to grab attention, and then we need to have desire. So it's really about specifically what your goal is and what your offer is going to be, which is what? Give me an example.
So my thoughts are at the moment, I want to try build a emailing list to start that up, and what my sell on it is to actually get people to give me their email is going to be, sign up to the Ben's Buns email system, and you'll receive special discounts. The first one's just going to be a free loaf of bread or a free pie or whatever. Bread, in my opinion, is going to be the best because it cost me like 6 cents to make. So it's cost me nothing really to get them on board, but they think they're getting huge value.
Yeah, which I would sign up for a loaf of bread. I fucking love bread.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So we've got that offer, but it's about understanding, like we were talking about last week, it's understanding, can we cope with the amount of traction that ad would bring. So for instance, the biggest advice that I can give you is that like if we were to offer a loaf of bread and 100 people overnight said yes to it, what is the system in which is going to generate that continuous success and continuous authority or attention to create desire for them to come to your store every other day and to give their kids pocket money to go down to the store to spend more money as well?
Yeah.
Because kids aren't going to sign up to emails. So what is a way that we can attract the masses in more ways than one? Right? So our biggest offer, and we've understood this, is this, right? So we've got the offer here, which is the loaf of bread, right? Then what we do is we're going to get people coming in here from Facebook. So let's say we want to try and get up to 100 people per day, or just give an example of 100 being the best number. On average, we'd probably get about 20 people hitting this page, I'd say. Based on that stat, you'd get probably about 80 people going off, but we can talk about that later. Out of that, we'll probably get probably 8 opted in per day. So you're getting 8 people getting a free loaf of bread. The biggest thing is we want to make sure that when we're in a situation that we can, one, cope with the amount of work that we're going to get. So do we have a sequence 1? Do we have a sequence 2? Do we have a sequence, let's say 3? And then a big call to action here. So like what is you start with the loaf of bread, but what's the overall benefit from it, from your point of view?
The loaf is just to sort of get them on board and then start. That's how I'd launch all my new products. It would just go to them, just go to the emailing list. Mm-hmm. And then it would be, every, I don't know, 3rd product or something, I'd just be like, look, chuck this on your Facebook page and then receive one of these for free, I'd post this up on Facebook and tag us and receive something for either free or half price just to get it out there. And then people go, holy shit, how did they get that for free? Or how do they even know about this? Oh, that's how, for the emailing list, and just really start to build that up.
For sure. Okay, so the original offer is a loaf of bread, right? So this is the offer taking a cold person into then slowly but warm. But what we want to do is we want to give them maybe an info amount here, an info here, info here. Ooh. So these are days, by the way, not weeks.
Yeah. And
then what we want to do is have this as the first 5, or 5 people. Right, 3, 4, 5. The first 3 that email me back and post on their Facebook page. So over here, using Ben's Buns hashtag, right, using a post of some sort, the first 3 people that I see do that are going to get something exclusive.
Yeah.
But because this is automated, this means that this is going to happen on a weekly basis. So then automatically, what you do is each week you just go through that hashtag and you pick one person, you DM them, and there you go, Bob's your auntie.
Yeah.
But this is the fastest way to, let's say, we want probably over about, our goal for an email list, I would say, oh wow, what the fuck? I would say over 1,000.
Yeah.
Right? So our goal is to get over 1,000 people, and I know that sounds unrealistic, right? Because it does to everyone. But nothing really works until we have about 1,000 people because of the way that the open rates are open and all this kind of stuff. And this is why this is super important. This here, because if this is automated, this means that there's consistently going emails in their system. So that the open rates are consistently, if you're sending an email out every single day, the open rates are going to increase. However, this can be email, right? If we did this also at the same time, right? If we did the same thing and we did posts, let's say this is post 1, post 2, post 3, and we did the same analogy. We spent 100. We got 100 people landing on this page. We got, let's say, 20 people converting in your content. We got 3 people messaging in the bot. So as soon as they introduce the page, like we get them onto the page, a little bot, like let's say, you know how you get that little person in the corner that comes up here and they give you a message, right? Yeah. Every time you land on a page. If this happens, then what we do is we take these 3 people and we try and send them here. And then what we do is those 3 people convert, they can then go onto their separate list. So now these people are in here. So then when you release something, you can message them on email and on Messenger.
Yeah.
Because Messenger's got such a high open rate, and because email is just a backup system, again, we're taking a thing that was putting all our eggs in one basket and we're putting it into 2. And we're saying, cool, I've now got them on Facebook. I now have them on email. And because they signed up to their email, if they give me this their cell phone number, we can text blast them as well.
Yeah.
Because then all they have to do is reply. And that confirms. So the first 3 now turns into, let's say, the first 9. You don't have to do it at that scale. I'm not asking you to give away 9 loaves of bread. But again, if it's only 9 times 6, it's a very cheap ad. I mean, you're going to have to have ad spend to get them on the ad. But then even a text blast is going to be you're still going to have over here, right? Even if you had, let's say, 3 people every single time and you send them a text message, the open rate is again 80%. So now you've got two systems that are 80% at open rates. And then email slowly but surely realizes that's just the concrete foundation that we pour. And then, like, let's say we have this little VIP group over here, right? It's cordoned off from everyone else. We have all these people. So we have 3 now from Facebook. We have 3 now from email. Okay, sorry, Jesus. We have 3 now from cell phones. We have now 9 people that are in these groups over here and here and here that they're willing to do anything now. Now we can now post on Facebook. So we text blast for free, we message for free, we email for free, we post it on Facebook for free. Oh, I mean, it's 6 cents, but at the end of the day, now we're getting people that are going to be waiting up outside. You know? So it's about saying, okay, well, the email idea is great, but we need to make sure that we do our marketing on as many fronts. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is Facebook, this is email, this is text, and this is local. Right? So now we have 4. Before, at the moment, we've only got 1.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Right, so at the moment we're only working with 1. We're going to try and add in. So, and that's just saying, that's just going to give us an indication that that's already working. We're already selling out when we're doing local, but it's about increasing our cost per sale, per acquisition, or per add to cart effectively. So
that makes sense.
So do you know what your average spend is, or no?
It's about $650, I think, roughly.
Cool. So what would ideally your ideal increase be, do you think?
I want it to be at about 15.
15 per, okay,
yeah,
cool.
10 to 15.
Increase.
Realistically, probably 10, but ideally 15.
Cool. Okay. And when they're doing the 650, what is their normal product? Is it a lot of products or is it just one?
Yeah, so it'll be like mostly it'll be like a pie and a sausage roll or something, or like a pie and a drink, or.
Okay, cool.
And then you've got the other side, which is it's just a loaf of bread.
So ideally, effectively, this is your store, right? This person's coming in and they're adding, imagine this is just the landing page, right? Landing page is your store. They're adding in 650 on average. Our goal is to offer something up here and also something up here, so that even if this is, let's say, would need that to be, let's say, just $5, and this could be $2. So if they're $5, we've hit our target, which is going to be the upsell, and then we've lowered our target. Right. So ideally, this is how you do an upsell, downsell funnel on ClickFunnels or a website or some sort, right? You go into a store, they try and offer you more, vice versa. Prices will be different, but it gives them a good example. We get them upsell. Let's say we put 100 people into here. Ideally, we'd want 20 people converting here, but then we'd also probably get out of those 100 people, maybe we'll get, do you know how many people transact per day?
I think we're sitting roughly on about 100 at the moment.
100, okay. And do you know how many people come? You probably don't know how many people come into your store, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing this is going to be high. If they're selling out, I'm going to say it's a high rate. So let's say even if it's 80%. So every 1.25%, every one person. Okay, so basically, let's say that every that means if we were to put on a high scale, it's about 1.25% of people convert. So like, I'm guessing getting more than one product. So let's say 1.25% convert of 100. So you're getting nearly 2 people that are buying. So every 2 people are buying a product. I would say every 1.25% would increase. And then let's say the rest, let's say 80% would do that as well. So looking at it from a point of view, is there anything that you could add that is going to be like an easy upsell for a person? So if they've got their and it's probably going to be voiced from you or the person that's selling them. So like, hey, do you want to get a drink with that or a coffee with that or whatever? Or is there anything on the counter that you can put that would be equivalent to like a $5 sale?
I mean, all our slices and that are around the $4.50 mark, so we can always do that. Oh, you want something sweet with that? And then,
or the other, you probably already thought of this. Is there anything that we can group together that maybe isn't advertised, but we can ask them when they've got those 2 products?
Yeah, so we've got that along the top. We've got our Chelsea buns and our raspberry twists. So anytime they come and get the pies, we go, oh, look at that. Look how good they look.
And how many people convert on that?
Oh, fuck all, like maybe 2 out of 100.
Okay. Is there anything else that you could add in that is probably like a little bit more appealing for the masses, I guess?
Well, it's a hard one to think about it because it's, obviously from our point of view, we're always like, oh, everything's mint.
Yeah. Is there any, like, obviously what I'm thinking is, I think it has to be liquid based, because you're talking to me about pies and sausage rolls and like Chelsea buns and all this stuff, but in my head that just speaks to dehydration to me.
Yeah.
So what's the lowest thing you could offer for the highest amount of margin that would be liquid?
Probably our bottles of water or just a can of Coke.
And is that in the consumer's eye when they're buying, or?
The Coke is, but the water's not.
Okay. And then, so instead of doing the buns, could we do the drink instead?
Yep. Easy.
I just think, like, if you're offering savory, or savory, sweet, it's like too many calories. It's in the mind of a person that's like, hey, I'm just having a treat, but I don't want to go too far.
Yeah.
And also it's like, can we add that into a combo that's already there that we can just tell them that it's included if you spend $2 more, $3 more?
Yeah.
Make sense? So if we make this, like, let's say they're spending $6.50 already. If we make this a drink, right? And then what's a $2? What's a downsell? So something, and I'm talking about $5 like profit. I'm guessing. Like, I'm not saying that's going to make bare minimum, but it's going to make you kind of as much profit as possible on the high end, as little possible profit as low end.
Yeah. What? So sorry, a bit confused. So the downsell would be.
So let's say I walked into your store.
Yeah.
Because on average, it's about 100 people transact at about $6.50 on average, which is your add to cart value effectively. So they're adding into their trolley when they're in your store. I know you don't have trolleys, but it's an example.
Yeah.
They're adding into their cart before they go to the store. They're adding $6.50 on average of value, right? To increase the transaction, people think they need to go out of their way, but it's not. It's about adding an upsell and a downsell. It's like why McDonald's offer a $2 upsell and it's only fries and Coke, because they actually make money on the, they don't make money on the, which one of the two they make money on, but it's because it's not actually, they don't make any money if you go medium, right? Effectively, they're breaking even. They only make money if they go upsell, but the upsell is so appealing because you get a bigger quantity of the two most favorite products.
Yeah.
So the way that effectively the McDonald's method works is that you want to go $6.50 in the cart. You want to have an upsell that is kind of by nature, like right on your face, but you don't really think about it until you get told, or a downsell, which can be like cheap add-ons that don't make the meal so expensive. So like, can the $2 be like sauces or flavor? Like, imagine if you made some amazing like toppings for the products that you were selling the most of. So what are the products you sell the most? I know it's pies and sausage rolls, but
pies 100%.
Okay, so can you come up with something like, I know you could easily do this. Can you come up with like a limited edition sauce that goes really, really well with it?
Yeah, probably pretty easy.
Cool. And then to keep cuts low, can we somehow put it in a package in which they can put it on their product?
Yeah, see, that would be the hard part. Especially now with all the food regulations and shit.
Okay. How many bags do you sell? Oh no, that the fucking regulations have changed as well, haven't they?
Yeah, but that is one thing I'm looking into, is getting the whole reusable bag scenario done with our logos on it. to upsell those with.
Because I was only thinking that the biggest thing that New World, and if you haven't noticed, and Pack and Save do, is that their upsell per transaction will be a $2 bag.
Yeah, it's fucking genius.
Exactly. So my thing is that your upsell won't be that; it'll be the downsell, or it's the upsell.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, everyone knows what they want to spend when they go into a store. It's just your responsibility as soon as they got in there to spend the most money.
Yeah.
So let's say you have the storefront. Like, let's say this is the storefront. This is you here. This person comes over here and she's already got $6.50. Your goal is to have something here that's like the $5 and then something here that is, let's say, the $2. So this could be the bag and this could be the drinks. So when she's here, she only has to rotate this way and this way.
Yeah.
Or he, doesn't really matter. And it's very, very simple. It's like if they look like they're and make it very, very hard for the person to not buy a bag, right? So like token bags, like the little small ones, because it depends how big. There's no point getting a really big one from like supermarkets or whatever. Or, I mean, that could be trending. If you can get Ben's buns and they go to supermarket shopping as well, it's two birds, one stone. Even if you can go to Alibaba and undercut them and get like 1,000 units at like 60 cents each or whatever you want to do, and then you sell them for like $1.50 rather than $2, you're beating the competition.
What was that store you said?
What was that?
What was that store you said, or site?
So Alibaba is like I'll send it to you. So let's go. Here you go. So $1 to US, that's quite expensive. Zero, yeah, here we go. US 13 cents to 25 cents.
Holy shit.
There you go. Although you have to order over 500 units, but.
And custom logo, 1,000 units. Yeah, I'd buy 1,000 of those if I could get a logo on it.
It'll come with your logo on it. Sample custom logo, minimum 1,000 pieces. Custom packaging, minimum 1,000 pieces. So you get that included if you order over 1,000.
Yeah, easy.
And you can get, obviously, you can get custom samples as well. $25. I guess it's quite expensive, but yeah, this is where everyone goes. So you know how everyone's talking about e-commerce drop shipping and stuff like that? Have you seen those ads?
No.
So like everyone's drop shipping at the moment. It's like the new trend. So what will happen is that someone will buy a product on someone's site and then Amazon will fulfill it, but Amazon will get it from Alibaba.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just taking out the middleman. Pack and Save, New World, all of them will go from here. Well, yeah. New World business will do it, not individual stores. So yeah, that is a great way to do a $2 downsell. Or it could be turned around and say it's a upsell. So like they buy an extra drink, they also buy a shopping bag.
Yeah.
Or if you can do it, it's a free bag. It's an advertising campaign they run. We could do it for an ad campaign. They can do it for a loyalty program, right? If you join the email list, you get a free bag.
I was thinking you just spend over 10 or 15 bucks and you get a free bag.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's how we can increase our store value. Yeah. It's really it's completely up to you. Because then we can say, okay, well, if you overspend, let's say, we know that we're at like $12. If you spend over $13, $15, you get a free bag.
Yeah.
Increasing our customer spend. So, but it's about sustainability and saying, okay, well, once they've done that once, they're not going to do it again. Well, I'm the kind of person that would do it again because I'll forget my fucking bag every time.
But, we get it all the time.
Yeah, I've got so many bloody Countdown and newer bags. Like, here's me saying I don't even get a Countdown. When I do, I buy the stupid bags.
Yeah, there's proof.
But yeah, so I think that's a goal for us to do as well. But from a social media point of view, there's no point showing you too much until we've got that plan. And the biggest thing I want to do with you is plan out how we're going to do it. So realistically, like what we're going to do, how we're going to market it, what you want to get out of it, what's the goals, and then we go forward. So our goal is to get everyone from going from a $6 to a $15. Now, time frame, what is that? What's our time frame?
I'm thinking, how long till the end of summer? Let's go 3 months.
3 months, cool.
That gives us the
That's a perfect amount for a marketing campaign.
Easter.
3-month marketing campaign. When do you want to start?
Probably middle of January. So about 3 weeks,
okay.
2-3 weeks.
So effectively, as of if we were to go, our next call would be the, normally we do it on a Friday, right? So it's a third.
Yeah.
We have a Friday. We have this Friday as well. Yeah. Is that right? No, we do it this week. No, this is our one from Friday. Today is right. So Friday the 3rd, effectively, and you want to go mid. So what we'll do is effectively next week would be our planning week. And then we effectively would want to launch by the 3rd. You want to start on the 15th, right? So it's the middle of January.
Yeah, roughly give or take a week or two.
Yeah. So if we did the 3rd, that's a 3-week marketing campaign. Let's say we even launched on the 20th, that's 3 weeks to start.
Yeah.
So by next Friday, I want you to come up with effectively an action plan of what exactly the marketing side you want to come from the marketing side, especially from the point of view of we've got all that stuff we want to do from last week, right? That's still there. But from this time, it's like, okay, well, what is our content direction? Or like, what can you give me for a content point of view? And then how are we going to turn that into audiences, email lists, build up? Because an audience list is going to take about a month to build.
Yeah.
An email list is going to take about a month to build. And it's not expensive, but it's going to cost at some point. So it's going to say, okay, well, we start on the 20th. We run a campaign to a cold audience saying, we need some sort of give and receive. So I would get an infographic made up of a bread, like a loaf of bread, right? So we can do that on Fiverr pretty easily. I know a person that can do that. And then it's just like, we can name their campaign. So from that first ad, we can then go, that's where the give and receive. So the give is the bread, the receive is the email list. But then we also have to have an email campaign that's already been done. So it's just completely autopiloted. So it's about realistically coming up with, I'm going to put this on Trello for you, but I'll write it down so it's really makes sense for you. So first one, the fuck is that noise? So email campaign, so give and receive. Fuck. So bread offer, and then we've got an email list, email sequence. And then we've got CTA to create. So what I want you to do is create a call to action that you can offer them at the end of the email sequence. So for instance, you start them with a bread, you convince them for the 3 periods of time, and then you want to do something like they have to go on social media and post about it. So for instance, it's like the first five people that go use the hashtag Ben's Buns on Facebook, hashtag post a selfie with the loaf of bread. Right? Because by then they probably should have had the loaf of bread, right?
Yeah.
Or what they're doing with it, make it a creation. The third email is create an amazing product with the bread, take a photo, use Ben's Buns, and then you search through every month and you give them a prize, right? Or you give them a gift voucher or a % off, whatever. Then what you want to do is that email sequence is then it's going to be the messenger bot, it's going to be the text blast, it's also going to be all that kind of stuff. And we can use that information for when we launch our products at the end of every month or whenever you want to decide to when you launch them.
Yeah.
And then by that time, the token bags and all that kind of stuff should be in the process. But first thing is the bread offer, email sequence, and the call to action. But then by that time, in a month's time, we should have a big email list, we should have a big messenger blaster, and we should have a big kind of traction on social media from that point of view.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep. Sounds good.
Perfecto. But yeah, it's really about, I need you to just turn into a content machine now. And then I can walk you through the email campaign, the marketing and all that kind of stuff. Once we can set all that up, but we need to have the foundations in order to set it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you someone on Fiverr that you can go and make an infographic or a graphic of the bread, or you can take a photo. It's just when it's more professionally done, it looks a little bit more appealing. And again, we want to give and receive, but we want to grab attention to create desire to get that offer.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like $2 or $3 on Fiverr. And then it's just about, get a free loaf of bread, right? Then we come up with the script. That's all what we can do on Friday. So then as of Friday, we start posting on Monday. So next week, we actually go through and make all of that stuff happen. This week, it's about getting all those ducks in a row so that we've got the foundation in place.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of think of some sort of email campaign. So if we can kind of think of 3 emails that we can create like as of by next week, just to put in the bridge between they get the offer, it reminds them to go and get the bread, because there's no point them getting the bread, giving their email if they're not going to receive the product. So doing that, and then obviously understanding that the call to action is going to be them showing it on social media. So we need to have some sort of form or some sort of presence in order for them to do that as well. Create a hashtag, whatever you need to do. I would also think about having some sort of loyalty group, like on Facebook, like a VIP member section where you can add everyone into it. And that can be a community, because it's much easier to market to a community that's localized than it is to just, even with sometimes with Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Right. It may be a little bit more work, but it may not be at the same time.
That sounds worth it though.
Because remember, if you have 1,000 people in that, not that you will it straight away, but from a VIP group standpoint, even if you have 200 people, that's 200 people that are most likely going to buy every time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's heaps for us bakery.
Yeah. And it's really, my goal is to bring the 21st century effectively into a model that's been around longer than marketing has been.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't think enough of them do it, especially local ones. And I feel like it's a very untapped market that you can tap into very, very effectively. Cool.
Yeah, be the pioneer.
What's that?
Be the pioneer for bakery.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, like I've been saying for a few months, like you have the opportunity to be that pioneer, because, no one's doing it. It's not because it won't work. It's because too many people are scared to do it.
Yeah.
Because they think it won't work. But like I said, it's either adapt or die. Well, you're not going to die, but you know what I mean? Like adapt or be the same as what you are now.
Yeah.
And as long as we do it in an economic way and an eco way, then you don't really lose anything. You're just losing things that are
I can't see it being anything but good.
Yeah. And the best thing is everything's tax deductible.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're using things that aren't tax deductible. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else that you want to go over?
No, not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head.
Not actually working at full potential.
Yeah, and I think it's a very hard time to introduce something like this, but there's no better time than the present. But it is a kind of like, okay, well, if it doesn't get done, then we can just push it back a week or so, because obviously this period of time is your busiest time. So it's not like you can take some time off as well at that point in time either. Cool. Okay, so I'll put that on Trello for you, and I'll get all of that stuff emailed up. Just make sure you've either downloaded the app on your phone or you just check back every so often on Trello, and then obviously I'll record these videos. The first one's already on YouTube. There's a link on your Trello to that YouTube video. So if you want to rewatch them, absorb what we're saying, and then go over the techniques and trying to brainstorm, because you're going to come up with the best ideas. I just know how to action them, right? And then again, I'll tell you when to jump and how high to jump as well.
Yeah, I've been so busy this week, I haven't even looked at that Trello, looked even into.
That's right, and I understand that. I get that for sure as well. The other thing is did you want to take me up on that offer about doing coaching and PTing?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
When do you want that to start? I know December's a financially burdened time, so I don't want to put you out too far.
Pretty much whenever.
Whenever. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that next 31st, first Thursday. So if we start your second call on, let's say next week, ideally, the first is on a Wednesday, 31st Tuesday, 30th. When do you want your PT call versus your marketing call? I can do it in like a bulk where we can do it at once, but it is a big chunk of time and it is also a lot to take on board. So either one's probably going to suffer. I'd rather do two and then go, here we go. But it's completely up to you.
Well, I need to look at changing the days soon anyways, because I can't do Friday. Well, I can, but Fridays are going to be a burden. So, so maybe Mondays and Thursdays.
I can do Tuesday and Thursdays.
Yep.
At 1 o'clock still, or?
For now, yeah, and then eventually probably a little bit earlier.
I can do earlier from now if you want to.
Yeah. Certainly this week, next week, and probably the week after. One's the safest option.
Cool. Here we go. Actually, what I'm going to do is Tuesday. Cool. So there's Tuesday, and then what I'll do is I'll move. Just load. Wow, that's taken. Anyway, yeah. So both those times will work. I'll flick them over. You'll probably get a little bit too many emails in this first state, but both will have Zoom links anyway, and we can both just do them on Zoom. And then that way you don't have to hold a phone to your ear. You can just sit down, have a beer, and talk about both. But other than that, if there's anything between now and next week, you can let me know. Otherwise, you have a good Christmas, and I'll catch you. Oh, yeah, I'll catch you post Christmas, right? Yeah, post Christmas, pre-New Year.
Yeah.
All right, sweet man. Otherwise, yeah, if there's anything else, just let me know.
Sweet, thank you.
All right, no worries. See ya. Bye.